Hey up everyone, I'm Serious Circa and welcome back to House Flipper. Today we are relaxing in a fabulous jacuzzi, but this is unfortunately not where we're going to be staying despite how relaxing it is. We are on episode 2 of the DLC series that we are finishing after the base game properties. I say after the base game properties, I'm actually recording it even though I've not finished the base game properties, but they will be released after all the base game properties have had their heyday. Oh my god, I just saw another shark go by. But anyway, let's get to the property and see which one we are doing today. I've gone the wrong way, so I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, here we are on the computer. So this week we are doing this property, which as you can see in the top right hand corner is part of the garden expansion pack rather than the Cyberpunk DLC. So the rules will be slightly different for this property than my usual ones because of the expansion pack that it is part of. And now it's time for the property description. So this house is called a house in a thicket. So if you are looking for a house among the trees, then this is the ideal offer for you. The house for sale is in need of renovation. It is located in a secluded forest plot. Highly recommended. This house has laid dormant for so long it's almost completely overgrown. No tenant has spent too long here, however many have left traces, and one of the reasons could be the lack of any plumbing. In short, it's hard to live without a bathroom. I was about to say a bathroom. A bathroom. So yeah, this is the property itself. Let's have a look at some of the pictures so we know what we're in for. Okay, it doesn't look actually too badly overgrown. I think they're overselling it just slightly, but let's go. Oh wait a minute, time spent in the house. I've just seen that at the bottom there. I've never seen that before, but let's get to the property. Okay, we seem to have arrived at the property. So I'm still going to be following the general layout of my videos prior to this that I did for base game. So I'll be doing like my intro, property description, before tour, renovation, after tour, and like retail description where appropriate, and obviously my final thoughts and sale of the property. But the rules for this are going to be slightly different because it is part of the expansion pack for the garden. The house is not going to be the main focus. So in general, I'm going to leave the house as much as it already is. Like I'm going to obviously flip it, so I'm gonna like paint it and make it look prettier, but I'm just gonna be putting like literally the basic amount of furniture that you need for each room to be qualified for what I'm trying to make it qualified for. So like if it's a bedroom, I think all you need in there is like a bed, a wardrobe, and that's it. That's all you need according to like the House Flipper wiki, because the main focus of the properties will obviously be the garden, so the insides will be very minimal at best. So yeah, now that that is done, let's do the before tour. Okay, so I'm excited to see. So the garden is the main focus this time, so let's just go around the outside. It says it's very overgrown, but as far as I can see, it's basically just a lawn that needs mowing and like a couple of weeds picking up, which isn't too bad. And the house itself seems to be quite big in space, so I wonder, like, is this the front door or is this the back door? I don't have a clue. There's rubbish and stuff. They said that there was traces from previous occupants. All I can see is their failed attempts at restoring the place, which we aren't going to fail. We're going to make this house lovely. I think this is supposed to be the front door here, and then you're supposed to have like a path from like the main gate. Yes, there's supposed to be a path here. Okay, I'm with you. So let's do the inside. We're going to go through the garage just because that seems to be like the better option here. Apparently this place has no plumbing, so I'm not anticipating seeing a toilet anywhere, but this is the garage. It looks kind of funky, not gonna lie. And then we have a big hallway with a million doors. It is my pet peeve, but it is not my job to change that today. My job is just to do the bare minimum. Okay, so we've got a random room here with a hole. Okay, he's thrown in a really weird lampshade. I don't like that lampshade. It just looks terrible, no matter what colour it is in. And then we had this room here. A big one, again with holes, so clearly people have obviously tried to add windows in and they've not done it. And then here we have even more hallway, so this should be the bathroom, but no one's added anything in, so that should be a bathroom. And this is, I don't know what this is, but it's got 2 doors into it. I don't know what room this is supposed to be either. This is a very confusing layout. Like, why would you have that? That's very confusing. like you go through like a big circle. I feel like I'm in like a game where you just do the same loop over and over and over again. And then we've got this little space here, which is going to the back room. Back door, I mean, not back room. We certainly don't want to go to the back rooms. Should I paint this place all yellow just to freak everyone out? This house has a very confusing layout, is all I'm saying. And then we got, yeah, I've already been in there, I think. Yes, I'm already getting confused. See, I'm just proving my own point. See, I'm already getting confused. This place is very, very odd. Okay, that is the before tour. Short and sweet as the way you'd want it. So we all know what we're in for now. Let's get, oh, actually, before we do renovating, let me just explain like how this garden works. So you can submit for the garden competition. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 styles of gardens. Now I've only got 2 garden properties left. That's including this one, I think. Just because when I was doing the base game renovations, I did buy a couple of garden properties as like stepping stones, and I forgot to record me actually flipping them. So, or I recorded it and I lost the files. So unfortunately, a couple of the garden properties are no longer available to renovate. So as a result, we've got 5 options and not enough properties to go round. So I will be rolling a random dice to determine. American is 1, Japanese is 5, so obviously 1 to 5 throughout. So let me just get up a dice roller. I've gotta Google it. This is not very well prepared. I'm not gonna add it in the bottom left hand corner. You're just gonna have to trust me on what comes out. So we've got a dice with 1 to 6 on here. So let's see. It's given us a 6, which is not usable. So the next one is also another 6, so that's also not usable. So we've got 3. So what is number 3? 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's English. All right, I should be able to do that considering everything. So we're going to attempt to do to get a 5-star rating on the English garden. So let's get to it. Okay, and here we are. Are we all ready for the final reveal? Now, this final reveal is going to work slightly differently from all of the other ones. Usually I do a quick buy, like go around the garden as fast as possible, and then I go into the house and go into all the depth. This one time it's going to be the opposite, so I will have to walk through the garden to get to the house, obviously, but I'm going to do a very quick house, and then I'll do a more in-depth garden tour. Although, to be fair, this garden is arguably... you'll see, we'll see. But yeah, let's get on with the after tour. But first things first, let's do the total time. So we're just going to go on to put house to auction. We're not going to sell it. So as you can see, it's taken me 3 hours, 52 minutes and 10 seconds to do this property, which is actually a lot faster than I thought, because I was just there like, oh my god, how on earth has it taken me only like 4 hours when I had like an entire garden to renovate? But yeah, that's ridiculous. 3 hours, 52 minutes and 10 seconds. I think that is one of my fastest renovations there is. So yeah, let's get on with the after tour. Okay, and like as a reminder, we were doing an English garden. That is what the dice chose. This is what the house looks like. As you can see, I've restored the previous paneling that was on here, and I've tried my best to kind of restore some of the windows as well, because it wouldn't let me clean them, so I had to get rid of the original ones, but I tried my best to like kind of match it. So yeah, and then I've gone for like a very like kind of, I almost was tempted to do a landlord special and just do the same stuff in every single room, like grey carpets, white walls everywhere, but I thought I'd make the house livable without going into all the decorations. So this is the new garage now. As you can see, I've gone for nice colours, and I've gone for this like nice stone because I feel like this bungalow has like cottagey vibes, which is why I've like added flowers as like art and decor just to make it match the outside. I've also added in this room. This room is new, it wasn't here before. It is a bathroom, so you got your sink and toilet, and this to act as like a little separation. You got your shower and your bathtub, and as you can see, I've not got loads of decoration up. I've just gone for the bare minimum. I was also trying to do it like relatively cheaply as well, just because I didn't want to spend loads and loads and loads. As you can see, I've only got £6,000 left. I had quite a bit more than that before I started this renovation, as I was trying to save money for the house. But yeah, this is the kitchen, a nice large kitchen. I've gone for like a blue theme in here with like some wood, and I just feel like it adds like a nice warm vibe without and colour, and you can see the outside there as well. So I'll try to add as many windows as well for natural light. If I'm doing the garden, you're going to want to see it. This is the only bedroom in the house. As you can see, very stripped back compared to usual. For some reason, it classed it as a multifunctional room. I'm not entirely sure why, but as you can see, it's just a bedroom. And again, I tried to like keep in with the original house by having like hints of it with the yellow going on, as well as like updating it a little bit and adding in plenty of storage. As I say, kind of went for like a cottage vibe. And you've got a mirror here to check your appearance as well before you go out. And then I've added in radiators and pictures just to fill in the white gaps. This room has been fully restored. It is now just a very simple living room. As you can see, it's got the bare basics, but if you're going to have a cottage, you're going to want a fire. So I put a fire in, and it's absolutely massive, so obviously the occupants can fill it with whatever they want. In addition to that, you can actually access the outside through the living room, which I feel like is a good, and you've got two separate exits, although this exit hasn't got a path to it because it's not actually supposed to be an official exit, but you know, more doors the better. And then in here we've got bathroom number 2, which originally this property was just a one bathroom property, but I managed to add in 2 proper bathroom. What is this? Why? Oh, it's this. I wonder what the red was on the map. Turns out I hadn't fixed this. Hang on, I thought I'd fixed it. I always end up missing these. They're always so like small that sometimes I don't even notice like they're on here, but yeah. Here we go. This wasn't intended for the aftertour, but at least we've sorted it now. But yeah, as I say, I've gone for very, very basic like kind of design in here. I've brightened it up with the cream and like the yellow, and I've got a shower in here and a window. This is a bigger window than before, which is also good because if you've got a bathroom like this, you're going to need lots of ventilation. And I tried to keep the flow in the house by having like the cottagey tile the whole way, and then I got like a laundry room in here, utilities room, and as you would have known, there was a door here before, but I got rid of it for the sake of the fact that there's not really much garden actually behind here. I've kept the original garden behind here as like open space for the family who moves in to do what they like, and that is the property. So let's go out the front door. As you can see, the front door has definitely been upgraded. We've got a little rug to wipe our feet on, and then we've got like a little bench that you can sit on. So this is the garden. We're going for the English style here, which I feel like is my wheelhouse considering. And then obviously we've got this lovely little plant and little entryway here, and I've redone the path. This is supposed to be for like cars to drive on so that they don't get stuck on the gravel, and obviously they can enter the garage. There's not much around this side of the property. Yes, I know there's patches of dirt, but I'm like, that adds character, right? Basically, I hate using the turf sod, the sod turf or whatever it is to it, because it's just really bloody awkward, and so I try to use as little of it as possible. And then I've got another little garden patch, and now the thing with English gardens is that we love having like almost like tamed but untamed natural beauty. So we like to have like things organised into like flower beds, but the things in the flower beds, it can be a little bit wild and a little bit natural, you know? Like it's not having to be dead straight. But yeah, and I've also made like a little path to go the whole way through, and these are like little lights which also look like flowers, so I thought they were super cute, and I've tried to add in as much colour variation as I can. We've got a lovely pond here that we can sit at, and we've got the stalk to stop other birds from eating the fish. I've also gone for lots and lots of roses and lavenders and tulips and stuff that I recognised as flowers that were usually in my mum's garden, because that's what I'm basing it off. My mum's garden is probably around the same size, but obviously doesn't have the same stuff in, but I was basing the plants off that. And then we got another little pond here. For some reason I couldn't bury this plant, but the idea is that it would be in the ground like that. And then over here we've got another little secret bench area where we can sit down, and we got a little fountain here to add some nice noise, and a brazier, because you know, you want to have cosy nights by the fire. And I've done my best to like make it more private by adding some more bushes in, and obviously I got rid of the bushes that were on the main path, and I've used these stepping stones because these are often used as well in English gardens to like guide you round. So everywhere that they've got like a little path that comes up the main path, I've used like little stepping stones, so this just loops round. It's another quick way across, and then obviously this continues on to where the door is. For here, this is the living room, so you can come out here, and I've gone round the tree because I didn't want to have to chop them down, so I've kept them where they are. And once again, we got a nice little gazebo, which it reminds me so much of like fancy castles that I just put this in. I was like fancy castle vibes, and I've gone for like a rose mania around here of all different colours. And then I got a little tyre swing in for the kiddies, and a little bench for the parent to sit and like watch them play. And again, it's like a little hidden nook. So I'm hoping that this property is worthy of 5 stars, but we'll find out in a minute when I put it on for sale. But I'm really curious to see what you guys think. Obviously this is all like well defined. I apologise about that. We've had issues with people on motorbikes. Like we literally had you know, those that are in uniform chasing them down with sirens because they've been speeding. So if you happen to hear them, I will try my best to edit out whoever's around. But yeah, if you happen to hear them, that's why. They've been doing it every single night, so there hasn't been a single night that would have been good to record. But as I say, behind here, I've left it pretty much as it were. I feel like if you're going to have a family moving in, they've got to have some part of the garden, like a big open field that the kids can run in, or they can like modify to their own purposes. So yeah, that is the garden. Oh, walking into the door. But let's put this house up for the garden competition. Now the garden competition, you get a rating out of 5 stars, and depending on what your rating is will determine how much value is added to the property. So as you can see, each different one has a different description. Now depending on which one we land on, I'll read the description. So today we were doing in English. I've already submitted it once for a score. This was like halfway through my renovation, so I've obviously added to it since, so I just wanted to make sure I was on the right track with what I was doing. So for an English garden, it has a loose natural layout, flower beds with blooming colourful preannual, I don't know how to pronounce the word, and naturally shaped bushes are dominant. There's also no shortage of romantic corners with benches and sweet smelling roses, hence why I've gone ham with the roses. The walls are usually overgrown with white vines. The walls and paths are made out of brick or stone, which is why I've got a lot of stepping stones and obviously a stone pathing on the bottom. So let's see, participation's only going to cost me £10, which I'm grateful about, because like, we got a better score, but our equipment is just slightly less, so we are almost a 5-star. I was so mad about that. I don't know what else we could add in terms of equipment unless I just start putting like pergolas everywhere. But anyway, it's a professional garden, it's a practical garden, a lot of plants and various surfaces, so I feel like that's fairly good. I mean, I'm happy with that. An extra 47.5%, although low-key I lost 2.5% because I'm half a star, but okay. Let's put this house on for auction. Jeez Louise, that took a long time for that to load. £94,000 profit. This is the importance of doing the garden in this game. Like, the garden pack is ridiculous. You get near enough double if you do a really good job with your property. It's amazing. But yeah, well, 1 bedroom is okay, but 2 would be better. We're going to go for the small family. So, and then this is their positives. So in this house there are also shelves for books, which is true. I've added in lots of shelves. In such a kitchen it's possible to cook for the whole family. I'd hope so, because it's massive. It's their living room, and it's good when there are many rooms in the house when you have a big family. They don't have any opinions on the garden, but we know the garden is good. There's no place where we can spend time with our family. It's because I've not added any toys into the main living space. As I said, I was trying to keep it minimal. But yeah, that is this house. So we're going to try and negotiate upwards. We always try and get like the full amount, but come on, go up, there you go. But it doesn't usually work, so we're going to ask for an extra £28,000. This entire series, base game and DLC, has not worked for a single property. Okay, they don't have such money, so we're going to accept the offer as it is currently. And as I've stated before, House Flipper Des, if you're listening or if you're watching, please add an option to negotiate more than once, because when you're buying a property you may negotiate more than once. And second of all, don't make the top end of the slider completely unrealistic, because if you could do like 30 properties and have a no to every single one, then you know you've done something wrong. Okay? that option shouldn't be a thing. If like I've got full specs for like negotiating and they never say yes. But anyway, I always say like my final thoughts when I'm loading in, and I think there isn't a whole lot to say. I will say that I'm a bit biased because I've played through the garden pack before, and English is definitely my favourite style, just because I find it the easiest to do well in, because I'm most familiar with it. And I definitely had a lot of fun restoring the house back to like almost its original state, and it was nice not to have to worry about like doing loads and loads of things inside a house for a change, and rather doing it in the garden. However, I will also say that rolling out the fake grass or whatever it is a bloody nightmare, and I am sick of it, because every single time it hits something you have to stop and then you have to buy another roll. If your roll's too big it will just clip everything, and also it's very difficult to cover like odd angles because it doesn't like rotate very well. They're logs, they're not the whole garden's not like straight, and it won't go underneath bushes or anything. So your only option if you really want like smooth turf everywhere is to like sell everything, chop down all the trees and do the entire garden from scratch, which I just do not have the time nor the patience to do. But other than that, it was a lot of fun. So as always guys, if you have enjoyed, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. The DLC properties will be coming out after the base game ones, even though I'm recording it prior to finishing the base game. So I hope that all of you stay along for like these DLC properties, because I think they are unique in their charm and obviously their backgrounds compared to the base game. But as always, if you have enjoyed, please don't forget to leave a like. And if you really have enjoyed and would like to see more of my content, I don't just do house flipping videos, I do lots of other different types of indie games or just games in general, please do subscribe, and I'll see you all next week. Bye for now.